Ready? Hey, what's up, guys? I just had a revelation for Marketing Empire Group. Our vision and our goals have just gotten deeper and more rooted into the community. Listen, what we want to do is we want to start a movement. And what we want to do is we want to take advantage of the technology boom right now. We want to invest in it. We want to invest in the technology. And what we want to actually do is take that money and reinvest in our community. We want to purchase property, real estate, and we want to build a community to be self-sufficient. We want to be able to have some doctors and teachers and biologists and everybody in our community, our builders, our contractors. We want to bring the entire community together to bring back our roots, the roots of living on the land and being resourceful and self-sufficient. You see, somewhere along the line, we lost that vision. Our great-grandparents lived on the land. They grew their own produce. They cattle ranched. They rode around on horses. They were self-sufficient. They didn't need the technology. They didn't need the big homes. They didn't need all of that stuff. They didn't need to keep up with the Joneses. All they needed was their land and their cattle and their food. That's all they needed. And they had it right there in their community. And they had the doctors. And everybody lived together as a community. And they traded. Everything was built off a trade. And the community together was self-sufficient. Food, water, shelter for everybody. Look, guys, we got to make change. We already know what's happening in this world. Our economy is crashing. We're seeing interest rates go through the moon. We're seeing a transition into the tech space. We're already in front of our phones too much. Look at you right now. You're watching me. How much time did you spend on your phone today? Those are deep questions. This is deep conversation that we need to have. We should be having these conversations as a church, as a community, as people. We need to be more self-sufficient. We need to rely on each other. We need to love each other and have compassion and bring each other back to joy. People are hurt right now. There's so much pain, divorces. We're seeing so much going on, and people are killing their babies, abandoning their families, breaking up. I know because I've been there. My parents went through a divorce last year, and it broke up my family. And I know there's a lot of you watching too. And it's deep. Those are deep conversations, and we're all dealing with it. But look, here's the best part. We can come together. We could come together as a community, and we can build each other up again. We could bring light. We could bring the joy and the peace and the love and the self-sufficiency. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if we all lived together with love and peace and compassion, and we took care of each other, and we were neighbors, and we said hello? We didn't just pull into our garage at night and just sit in front of our television at home on our couch with our chips on our lap. That food wasn't even around 50 years ago. The majority of the food we eat today wasn't even around 50 years ago. Can you imagine if we went back to our roots and we lived off the land? Could you imagine what that would be like? What we could do, what change we could bring to our communities? And it could start right here in Temecula if all the churches came together and wanted to be self-sufficient. And we brought in doctors and dentists. We brought in contractors. We brought in my man, the reptile man. He sold roly-polies for a living because you need the ecosystem. We need all the ecosystem. We need to have farmers. We need to have fishermen. We need to have people living on the land again. And you see, we became so insufficiently dependent and reliant on our government, on the truckers driving the food across the country. What if we could just have the food here? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you could just have your food right outside of your doorstep? You could just step outside. Could you imagine if you could just step outside your door and cut a piece of lettuce or kale or carrots? Like, could you imagine if we brought back community gardens? Could you imagine what we could do as a people, as a community, as a church, As a family, we can make that change. This is a movement. This is the empire movement. We want to start our own empire. We want to build our own empire here in Temecula. We want to build it here in Temecula, in wine country. I purchased 40 acres and I'm starting it. I'm changing the roots. I'm changing the way that we think we should live, because I don't want to live this way. I don't want to live in front of my screen. Do you? Do you want to live in front of the screen for the rest of your life? Do you want your kids? Do you want your kids to be in front of their screen? Do you? Their whole life? That breaks my heart, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it happen. I have a 2.5-year-old, and it breaks my heart because this next generation is struggling. And teachers, teachers out there, God bless you. Thank you. We need you. Don't leave. Don't leave the schools, because we need you. And I'm crying because I'm passionate about this. And I'm seeing our whole world crumble, and we're all feeling it. Everyone is, but no one's talking about it. And I need to talk about it because it's on my heart. And I had a revelation. Have you guys ever seen Ready Player One? This is gonna scare you. Hold on. Hold on. Grab onto your horses, folks. Whew. Ready Player One, the whole theme of the movie. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it, because we're going there. It's already here. I'm going to a convention in 2 weeks to learn more about it. And it's really scary if you think about it. I'm not lying. This is just how I feel, guys. Whew. It's just coming out. This is all revelation for me. But look, the whole storyline of Ready Player One is everybody went through an economic crash. We can see it. That's what the whole theme and the whole movie's about. And if you look at it, everybody just fell into a Great Depression, and there were a lot of divorces, and people didn't have much, and they were very reliant on the government, or whatever it was, the corporations. They were very reliant on the corporations is what it was. Facebook, TikTok, all these other platforms. If you really think about it, that's what it could be. That's what it seems like to me, at least. I don't know, but I don't like it. But what I'll tell you is this. That whole theme is built based on people with goggles on their face, and they're living in the metaverse space. It's kind of, I'm not trying to rhyme, I'm not this good, this is just coming out, I don't know what to say. But what I'll tell you is this, the whole movie is themed on that, and they're so reliant, and they're on their goggles all the time, and they're always connected, running around, but they're really in shipping containers. And I've always wanted to build a shipping container home. That's my goal. Anyone who knows me and knows my real estate investments knows that that's always been my dream home. Unfortunately, Riverside County doesn't permit it, but I don't know why. They should. All the other counties around here are. Maybe you guys could help us, because that's actually really affordable living if you think about it. And we could actually build the community in that regard. And really, it's kind of saving the planet too if you think about it, because it's all green, and we got all these shipping containers laying around. We might as well use them. They're good, sturdy. Let's do that for our community. I would love it. Anyways, back to the story. Everybody's in front of their screen at all times, and they're just running around, and they're chasing a golden egg. And the whole story and the whole theme of the movie is to get this golden egg, because then they could control everything, and they own the system, and they're rich, and they I don't remember exactly how the story goes, but they win something. It's all about the golden egg, and it's all about the chase. But look, if you think about it, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to put yourself and your kids in front of a screen all the time when you could be out gardening, when you could be out riding your bike, when you could be out snowboarding or skiing or surfing or swimming and tending the soil, when you could be riding your horse, when you could be literally giving your services as a barter? And it doesn't have to be all the time, because if we came together as a community, you know how much we could do? You know how much change we could make here and be so self-sufficient, so self-reliant? And so this is a movement. This is a movement that I want to start here in Temecula. And if you're with me, and you love my story, and you're about it, and you're ready to make a change, you're ready to make a commitment, you're ready to make the move, and you're ready to start here in our hometown, everybody who lives here in Temecula, And if you're in other areas, we invite you here. If this is something that you're interested in, and you want to be a part of this movement, you want to start more community gardens in our community, you want to take away the iPad from our kids and set them on a bike so they can go on a bike ride around the neighborhood with their friends, or so we can throw them on their horses and they can learn how to horseback ride and have a lot of fun. We could take them fishing, and we could teach them how to garden, and we could teach them how to be self-sufficient, and we could teach them how to live a life as a community like our great-grandparents used to live, and our great-great-great-grandparents used to live, and great-great-great-great-great-grandparents used to live, and every other generation before us. Every other generation before the Industrial Revolution happened. And now we're seeing the technology take over our lives, where there's literally robots, guys. It's insane. The AI out here telling us what to do and what to think. And we got all these platforms putting these posts in front of us strategically. They're always listening. They're listening to me right now. They're going to see this. And people are going to reach out. And I'll tell you what. This is a movement. This is a movement. This is the Empire movement. And it's starting in Temecula Valley. This is the Temecula Empire. And if you want to be a part of this movement, and you want to be part of the change, and you want to commit to your family and to the next generation and the generation after that, and you want to be part of the change in your family's life, and you don't want to be connected to the system and the grid and live with a computer or a TV or an iPad or virtual reality goggles in front of your face, and you don't want to distract yourself from what's really happening in this world, because that's what all of this is. It's a big distraction. If you want to make change, please reach out. I want to build a community of people who want to love each other. I want to build a community of people who want to give back and who want to make change for their kids and their kids' kids and their kids' 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 kids. I want to be part of that change. I want to be part of that change, and I want to give it to my daughter, and one day my granddaughter, and one day my great-granddaughter, and one day my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren and grandsons. I didn't forget about them, but I have a daughter. I'm trying for number 2, so we'll see what God's plans are. But for now, I love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for watching this. I know it was very long, but this just came out of my heart. God bless you, and please respond to this. Like it if you feel and if you agree with me. I would love to hear from you guys here in the community, across the nation, and across the entire globe. If this goes viral, and this is something that everybody wants to be a part of, Marketing Empire Group, you could send us www.marketingempiregroup.com, or you could email me, konstott@marketingempiregroup.com. And I would love to make a change, and I would love to make a movement for our family, for our community, for our friends, for our church, and for our people. Because at the end of the day, everyone needs to love everyone. That's the only way life was made to live. I love you guys. God bless you. That's a lot of fun.